Good evening, guten Abend, bonsoir, buenas noches to investors in North and South America. Ohio, good day, investor. 안녕하세요, 各位早晨. Good morning to investors in Asia. Buenas noches, good night to investors in Europe and Africa. I'm Daniel Yu speaking from Hong Kong. It's 27th February here and 26th February in Wall Street. This time, I'll talk about 5 main points. Number 1, current market situation. Number 2, fear and greed index. Number 3, Chat GPT. Number 4, awakening of hibernation. Number 5, potential stocks. Subscribe, like, and share. Remember to click the bell, please. Watch our playlist again so as to grasp the continuous trend of the market and refresh your mind. Technically, NASDAQ is changing from bear market stage 3 to bull market stage 1, and the process undergoing is from Ursa Minor to Ursa Major Pattern. It won't be finished in weeks and may take about half a year's time. Anyway, it's a struggle trying to break the 250 SMA now, but this time failed and has to wait for another chance. This is the situation of last week, where the index which topped on February the 2nd, just over the 250 SMA and formed a double top pattern. This week has broken through the baseline and went downward. So when counting the Elliott wave from December 22nd, the winter solstice bottom, it is like this. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mind that the downtrend wave is like this. A, B, C. NASDAQ 100 closed at 11,972.38. It is even lower than the high of December 13. For Fibonacci retracement, the support of 0.382 at 11985.32 has already been penetrated, and the next stop is at 0.50 of 11673.66. When moving upward, the bull market watershed of 20% from 11016.38 of October 13 is 2203.336. When put together, the level is 13220.016. Still needs some time to go. Thus, we know the market is having a downtrend. When moving from Fibonacci Arc, we can assume the fall will meet its support at 11334 around March the 4th. Please be noted that the employment report of March is not released on first Friday as usual. It is postponed to March the 10th, Friday. But why is December 13th important? It is in relation to the adjustment of current market. December 16th, the FOMC meeting cut the 4 straight increase of interest rate from 75 pips to 50 pips because of the Germany meteor shower peak on December 13th. Please refer to video 9 at 20221216. Dow Jones reached the ceiling at December 13 at 34712.28, already over the bull market watershed of 34393.12, but no confirmation and started to fall till now, cannot rise over that point. As for S&P and NASDAQ, the low reached at December 22nd, which is winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, but the peak was on February the 2nd. How to detect it? The fear and greed index, which record high since its reformation in April 7th, 2022. Before that day, it only has 3 categories, henceforth changed to 5 categories, which are extreme fear, neutral, greed, and extreme greed. It reached 76 points high on February the 6th, and the market began to fall. On February 8th, it even reached 79 points. Actually, the market started to fall because of the start of spring on February the 4th. Why GPT is so hot nowadays? Actually, such software have been used in customer service to answer questions long ago, but they only gave standard answers. Now they are trained to give answers by AI intelligence that's more similar to human answers and not just answered by computer. But there's a blind point that all data input are just updated to December 2021 only, when beyond that period it is hard for them to answer unless specially trained. That is what investors want. Basically, they can form an ETF or give analysis to a certain stock. Mind that no matter if it is Google or Microsoft, They are now examining their robot day by day and are having adjustment and giving training to the robot. So when you ask a question, that means you are giving them a chance to let them have more experience to answer. Even if they can form an ETF, they still need time to see the result. So when you ask more acute questions, that means you are giving training to the robot to face more hard questions in the future. The training can be divided into two parts. One part is on your own account, just like the algorithm of YouTube channel to give relevant answers you need. And another is sent to the big data of the center. The Singapore government just announced that they will teach students how to make use of Chat GPT, such as asking questions and training them. China also wants to develop Chat GPT, including Tencent, Ant Group, and Baidu. But as said in last video, a lot of sensitive words and concepts are banned, so the AI can only give out model answers, pre-designated, and cannot think freely. For when saying too honest will be downshelved. In the last video, I asked a question: when facing the recent trend of AI, how can human beings overcome it? The answer is try to think more and have more training on thinking. In our series of 14 teaching videos, each video will have 1 or 2 certain tests to help your learning. When you fail in the test, no one knows, but when you pass, you can tell your friends proudly how you overcome the adversities. By the end of each video, there's a homework, there's a question that you need to think about, and the answer will be revealed in the next video. As for the Special Assembly of the United Nations on Ukraine, already said that peace talk would be unsuccessful, even though the UN passed a vote that 141 countries voted Russia should withdraw all troops and only 7 against and 32 absentees, even though China listed 12 points for peace talk, but neither of them has any action. The year of rabbit is set to have peace, but the time has not yet come. Please refer to video 15 at 2023-0123 on general characteristics of rabbit year. Counterattack on Ukraine has already started and will reach a climax after March 6th, which is known as Awakening of Hibernation. The Chinese calendar even is called lunar calendar, but actually a combination of solar and lunar system. The conjunction of Jupiter, Venus, and Moon should bring about peace, but power is not so strong enough, so it just came out of the UN and terms of China, but no action at all. Fierce fighting will occur after March 6th until spring equinox of March 21. That's the FOMC meeting. Since the PCE was announced at 5.4%, last time it was at 5.3%, but this time the market expectation is from 4.8% to 5.0%. That means the rate increasing cycle will continue with a further rise of interest rate on March 21st to 22nd, May the 3rd to 4th, and now should add one more, which is on June 13 to 14. What we need to observe is whether the March FOMC meeting will have a rate hike of 25 or 50 base points. China turned up to be neutral but gave a lot of helps to Russia economically, including buying their energy products, helping them to survive under the sanction of SWIFT system, and recently the Müller of Germany described a company in Xi'an is talking a deal to supply the 100 CT-180 kamikaze drones to Russia and parts of Su-27 in form of civilian planes, and also help Russia to develop drones up to quantity of 100 per month. The deal will be done in April. Another company in Changsha is supplying satellite images to Russia. They are approved by the government. Blinken, Secretary of State of US, had warned seriously on this. Let's wide open our eyes and watch what would happen next. Therefore, the date of Awakening of Hibernation on March 6 should not be neglected. Mind that in our seminar of March in Almaty of Kazakhstan, we'll have a special discussion on Chat GPT, outlook on Ukraine, and person-to-person psychological analysis of investors. So let's see the individual stocks. NVDA popped up 50% last Thursday. I've recommended 3 times recently in video 18 at 2023-0213, video 17 at 2023-0206, and video 16 2023-0130. It apparently benefited by Chat GPT and AI intelligence. Since the jumping gap is so wide and may not be filled recently, the level for entering will be at 10 SMA of $220. AMD is going to fill the jumping gap soon and can be bought at $75. For NOC, since there will be fierce fighting in Ukraine, they are producing Eyes of Battlefield, which is another kind of radar aiming at smaller sized drones from Iran and China. We are in a special position of awakening of hibernation. So investors should mind the jumping gaps recently and see which will be refilled first. NOC is one of the best examples. AAPB is having a jumping gap and is just filled. So technically it's more investable than AAPL, but AAPL is of lower risk, so investors can choose on their own. ASML is also having a jumping gap and will be filled at $599. AI stocks are the hottest now and should be minded to buy at lower levels. So jumping gap is one of the practical indications. Finally, when the market is in downtrend, the best way is to buy the QYLD, for you can get dividends every month and you can get back all your investment capital in 8 years' time, and the full capital inside your account is a total profit. The last closing price was $16.31 and dividend of last year was 2.0069, or even amidst it, you can use the dividends to reinvest more and more to form a prosperous cycle. This stock you need not be afraid of the fall, for you can repurchase at a lower level and get back all your capital even faster. Just see whether you can wait for 8 years, but also should mind the handling charges and tax. Anyway, the lower the market drops, the more benefit you can get. So now, everyone stay alert on the awakening of hibernation. Arise and awake. You can ask the Chat GPT to compare with human explanations. So again, subscribe, share and like, please. Sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, bye bye, see you next week.